43. Pilate the Pawn. After the council reaffirms their hasty decision of the night before, the high priest sends Jesus to Pilate and asks Rome to kill him. Pilate is reluctant, having heard that Jesus was popular with the crowds. But this crowd is controlled by the temple priests and will not be denied. Mark 15, 1 through 15. When morning came, the chief priest reassembled the council to make sure they still voted the way they had the night before. Then they bound Jesus again and led him away to Pilate. Pilate was amused by the council's decision, and he asked Jesus, "So, are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus caught his inflection and answered in kind, "Well, if you say so." The priests, however, were not amused. They set upon Pilate with all their venom and accused Jesus of every offense they could. Pilate listened for a while, and then he silenced them. He turned to Jesus and asked him, "This is quite a list of charges for a king to be accused of. Don't you have anything to say in your defense?" But Jesus made no reply. He just smiled at it all. This amazed and amused Pilate. So Pilate tried to make a comparison between the passive offenses of Jesus and the violent offenses of real criminals. It was his custom every year to release one prisoner during the Passover festival. He would always let the crowds pick the prisoner to be released. When the crowds came to Pilate to ask for a prisoner, he snatched upon a plan. He could release Jesus, or he could release Barabbas, a notorious murderer and a rebel. So Pilate queried the crowd, "Would you like me to release your king of the Jews, Jesus?" But the priests and the scribes whipped up the crowds to release Barabbas instead. Again, Pilate sought to play down Jesus' offenses, and because he'd heard that Jesus was a popular man when he was teaching in the temple, he asked them, "Then what shall I do with your king, this Jesus, the King of the Jews?" They shouted back, "Crucify him!" Now Pilate was really confused by this, and he asked them, "Why do you want him crucified? What harm has he done?" But they shouted even louder, drowning out his voice, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" So Pilate gave in. Being unwilling to anger the mob, he released Barabbas to the crowd and sent Jesus to be flogged and crucified. Questions for today. Have you ever seen people whip a crowd up to cheer for a lie? Have you ever seen religious zealots cheer for the evil to prevail? How does that make you feel?